Hey everyone, we've had quite a bit of exciting things happen in the Ordinals and rule space in the past few weeks. We're gonna go over them. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts, my positioning, and everything as usual. But before we all get too excited, I want to show you like an overview of what I'm seeing that might be happening right now in the market. And we're gonna start with the volume. So first of all, this for Ordinals. And as you can see, compared to previous volumes, we are still accumulating. Yes, there's been some blips of higher volume on the ordinal side, but pretty much nothing compared to previous bull run of ordinals, I would say. And you can see the same for transactions. So pretty much, although there has been a positive shift in the sentiment, and we see some collections starting to run and go a little bit higher, in general, I believe we're still far from being in a ordinals bull market. And if we look at this here, like this period in 2023, you see that up until end of October, so beginning of November, we had pretty much exactly the same setting. So technically speaking, if we are to have a bull run in the space, this right now could be the absolute best moment to start positioning for the run. I've been positioning myself and I'm positioned already. Pretty much most of my kind of moves were made. We're going to discuss them, but you can see here that even if you feel like there's been quite a few things popping and running, I think this could be just the beginning. Obviously, that's just my opinion, but yeah, this is on the ordinal side, and on the rune side, exactly the same. Like, you could see we had a big volume spike once we launched the first couple of months. Then we had a long period during the summer of pretty much no volume. And now, although everyone's excited and there have been quite a few 100x opportunities on the market, you could see that the volume is not up there just yet. And if we are to get into a proper bull run in runes, this could be like just a blip on the radar. So technically, we could see something like this here could be the first leg, so just when the runes launched, and then we are right here right now, and then we could see something like this. So I'm expecting, if we get a bull run, for this type of volume, like 10 million per day, to be dwarfed by what is it to come. Right now we're at around 5 million average, even less, I would say, for the last few weeks. With all of that said, let's go over some charts. We're gonna start with the JPEGs. I positioned myself in based angels because I saw this chart. Like, this chart's like one of the cleanest. They launched quite soon, like a few months ago. They haven't really had a bear run here, the bear cycle to go through and bull cycle. So now they just started running. I bought around 0061, somewhere around here, and I sold here at around 0.12. I think it was my average exit on the position, and then you can see it just went double from there. But yeah, these things happen, but I believe we'll see more and more of these collections that are popping up, and also new collections like this one. I did also buy some puppets. I was pretty vocal about it. Around my average is around 0.13, somewhere around here. So very similar setup to what I discuss in like my normal crypto stuff. So we had this consolidation. Before that, there was a downtrend, and now pretty much we had the first push and the retest of this area right here. So I positioned myself in here, and now we're seeing the first breakout. And even on the weekly, if we go on the weekly here, you see that like this area around here, I would say pretty crucial that we broke out of it. And now, actually, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a cool-off, because, you know, we've had pretty much only green on puppets and some other collections. But yeah, things are starting to look good. Actually, puppets started flipping node monkeys, which is interesting, and I'm happy about this because I was considering positioning also in puppets, in node monks, but I decided to go with puppets because of their, you know, just aura and the way that like the community loves it. Seems to be the right move. Interesting what's going to happen with node monks. They're still the top one or two when it comes to volume, but as you can see, price action has been lagging. while puppets have been pretty strong, honestly, right here. And the last runes and memes that we're going to discuss are also helping this out. Another one that I was buying was frogs. This is not going so well. It's been pretty much back at the support level. I'll be a little bit more patient with this one because I do have quite a big position in frogs already. But as an OG, I think these could still do well. It's just, they're lagging. But when it comes to the new collections, I started positioning a bit into Eons. Very clean chart, honestly. Very, very clean. Like accumulation. Didn't really have a major sell-off after their launch. And now, I started buying some in this higher area. Similar setup with the puppets. I would love for this to start breaking above. Similar to Angels. But I'm going to keep this for a bit longer. I'm not looking for a 2x here. So yeah, this is pretty much the major new collection that I've been positioning myself into. I do have some of the gizmos. I managed to mint quite a few. I took my cost base up, but it was really insignificant because it was a free mint. But this one could turn into something. It's a puppet related meme. The rune is very successful. We're going to look into it in a bit. But I'm just going to hold this and also the other one because there are a couple of gizmos that they launched. The other one is not doing so well, although the overall assessment of Twitter was that this one, the Bitcoin gizmos, will do better than the Gizmo the Cat collection, but it hasn't been so. But honestly, I'm just going to keep both. You never know what's going to happen. And if we get into a craze, these could both do well and just be a sympathy play to each other. But yeah, these are like the collections that I'm looking into. Billy Cats, I have some, but pretty much this is another type of play for the Billy Cat rune. So if you just want exposure, just go straight into it. There are a few collections that I'm interested that I still haven't launched and are launching pretty much at the perfect time. One of them is Pizza Pets, if I remember correctly. Pizza Ninjas have been doing well. As you can see, very good chart. They haven't really had a downtrend. But if the other collection is to launch soon and it's at a reasonable price and so on, I think this could also do quite well. Another one is Debauchery, obviously. I will have quite a bit of exposure to Debauchery. I think it just ticks all the boxes and they're launching at the right time. So obviously I'm going to be a holder and I really believe that it's going to do well. Just the art and everything. There are a lot of things that I like. Another hidden, I don't know if I can call it a gem because it's quite popular, but if Taproot Wizards pull out something, I think Quantum Cats could do well. OP Cat has been rumored for quite a while. The JPEGs themselves haven't been doing well, honestly. So it will be interesting to see what they're going to do here. I do have exposure, so it's quite expensive. Even at these levels, I think the single price, it's not cheap. If you could buy a puppet for like 0.15, a cat at 0.23, to me, it just sounds expensive right now. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I, have exposure to both of them, so I don't really care. Hope both will do well. And when it comes to runes, oh boy, where do we start? Let's go through here. So, the last 7 days, there has been a bit of a shift in the volume profile. Usually, if we go all time, what was the standard during the downtrend, Dog Go to the Moon, Arsec, Satoshi, and a few others. Billion was the only one that kind of started pushing volume as a newer rune. But now, in the last 7 days, there's been new runes that it looks there might be here to stay. Because usually we see a spike in a day or two in some new rune. And then just dumps, just pretty much like any other meme coin. But now we're starting to see this Gizmo Imaginary Kitten pushing quite a bit of volume, first of all, and then also quite a bit of market cap. This thing, I managed to mint some, not nearly enough as I wanted to. Never mind, not gonna get sorry about it. But this thing, pretty much from the door, it was just pushing and pushing higher, and it started doing crazy multiples. I did de-risk a bit here, so I took profit, but I still have a position, and I'm just gonna see where this thing goes. Because this could turn into one of the best plays of of the rune space. It has all the criteria, and most importantly, it's pushing the volume. As you can see, I thought this could have a big correction, and then we would see if it will actually, come back. But it just didn't have a correction. In from here, even if it has a correction to like lower, it's already at other multiples. Like we're already at 30 million market cap, so this could get to what, like 10? It's still quite a significant rune, and with the volume that it's pushing, I think it's not to be underestimated. And if you don't have an entry on this, just wait for a pullback at some point or a pattern to appear, because I do believe these opportunities don't come that often. There has been others that pumped, like Kika is trying to push now again. So I thought something similar will happen with Gizmo, but as you can see, Kika launched, had a nice multiple, collapsed, consolidated, and now it's pushing again on the same narrative. Let's see if, because Kika is the bunny, and there's a whole story. You can go read it on the Puppets X account. But these plays are quite interesting. I did have I did add to a position of Koda right now underwater. But what was happening during the weekend is that all of the tokens were kind of pumping, and this one was a bit lagging. It had a pump, but then it retraced. So I'm just gonna be patient with it. Nothing huge. I'm not betting huge on those new runes. I've positioned myself pretty much to the legacy runes, which we're gonna go over in just a bit. But yeah, it's been a little bit different. If you can see, a little bit more colorful on the rune side. Not that we needed more color, but hey, we're getting it. So yeah, very, very interesting. And if you're in the trenches and you manage to mint some of these, it's been quite profitable. The only one that kind of is disappointing, but this one I think launched quite late, is this Puka cannot be stopped, based on OMB meme. It minted out quite at high fees, and as you can see, it's been pumping, but it hasn't really delivered the multiples that people will want it to do, but it's still pushing good volume. So again, keep an eye, because you never know. These will run with the collections. So let's say ZK comes out and announces something, pretty sure Puka will do well. Same happened with Based Angels and their rune. The collection did like 5x, and the rune did like 10x. And I bought the collection. Yeah, what a sucker. Didn't buy the rune. But you can see this one's doing also quite well together with the collection. And now that there's a Gizmo collection, vice versa, you know where I'm getting. There's many ways to get exposure to this. I do have positions in pretty much most of the major runes that I like and are even a bit older, like even Dog Go to the Moon. I've talked about this 1,000 times, but the Ordit chart looked pretty similar to what we are right now. This is a little bit of a slower cook, and the catalysts that we could see in the space are so many that it's definitely worth being patient. I positioned here around 5.5 sats, and I'm just patiently waiting for this to do something, or the entire space to start doing something. Because first of all, we could get a major listing. We don't know which token, maybe Pups, maybe DOC, maybe RSIC, doesn't matter. But whoever gets to a major exchange listing, the entire space will go significantly higher. And then there are developments like Magic Eden has been teasing the swap function here for months now, but it seems they're getting closer and closer. So if they manage to deliver this and have pools and swaps and everything like DeFi style, they will bring a lot more liquidity, in my opinion. There are a lot of people that still don't know about runes and Ordinals overall. So the ETH boys will start jumping into this as ETH is still lagging. And you'll see, I think this could be a major, if it's good, a major catalyst. Because then some of the supply will be locked into the pools, more people, more liquidity because of the ease of use. It will be just compounding and compounding. And combine this with a potential listing, you see where I'm going. So the bullish case for runes is very bullish, because still the space is not huge. It's like 1 or 2 billion right now. All together, like all the runes together are this much. And that's why I positioned, and pretty much I'm holding. I don't have a few major ones like Pups, but I might get. But honestly, if one starts running, I think all of them will start running. But again, you can see this pattern of accumulation. Keep repeating it. Don't fade this one. Accumulation, first initial strength. You could argue this was the best entry here, around 100 sats. and then a push continuation. Now a consolidation, maybe here it's also a good entry with stop below like 160, and then potentially higher. Other ones, Wanko is looking all right also. Just type it in. Wanko has been lagging, but also an old meme showing strength. Not the volume that I would like it to be at, but you can see again very similar pattern. So a lot of these will start pumping really hard. RSIC potentially, if they actually do something and stop just not talking about anything. But again, the chart just it looks ready. And once the overall space cools off a bit more, because we did have a run in the past couple of weeks, Psych also not a terrible chart. It did a 10x this thing, went to 10 mil, and now it's correcting again, consolidating. It just doesn't go up and down, like it doesn't go straight up vertigo and then straight down and then do whatever here. It's just consolidating higher. You can see this so clearly. So I believe obviously these are high risk, but some of these will be big winners. For me, another one is Waddle. CBS is a cool dude. He started rebranding and stuff, so I think he'll deliver. And you can see again very similar pattern: push, take a breather, and potentially another leg higher. So very, very hot. Another interesting play is the Wizard. This is still a BRC, but they pretty much have the best rule name: Magic Internet Money. Come on. And again, the same pattern. People anticipating this to do something actually. So it will be interesting. A lot of things to be excited about, but also cautious, because again, if we just start dumping, these will become very illiquid very fast. So you need to be aware of this. Track is one that this week we're expecting the airdrop of TAP, and they've been also been teasing like DeFi stuff, like L1 swaps and stuff. So we'll see what they will do, and if they actually do something, because they haven't really much done anything for the past 6 months, and just been teasing. If they actually deliver something, long forgotten backs of mine like GIP and DNT might actually start doing something. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, in short, I'm balls deep into this and into altcoins. If we like lose and we go into a bear market and we never had a bull run, that's fine. I'll lose some money, but like not nearly as much as what I could make potentially if we get into a bull run. So, you know, I'm okay with the risk, obviously, and you gotta make your own choices and position accordingly based on your risk tolerance. That's everything, and I'll see you in the next one.